Recording. Okay. And we have about 75 hosts coming on. So we have quite a few people that are coming on, and just making sure that we can get the information out to everybody and they see it. And I have a goal of keeping this under 30 minutes for you. So we will definitely get that done. Here's some things that we need to definitely go over. First of all, these are a little bit kind of behind the 8 ball, if you will, because we already have our passion. We already know what we're doing. But if you want to really engage who you're talking to, you really want to discuss issues on education and conduct an inquiry into the sessions about new tools that you're going to use. And think about, these are just some talking points about things that you might want to do in your session in order to engage your listeners more. So if your session's exploring technology, really have the people come in and use the technology that you are using in order for them to be able to do what it is you want them to do. So hands-on is going to be the best way. And whatever you have, I already know what the sessions look like, and I know what the topics are. So a little bit today is about really thinking about our personalization and how we are asking ourselves to engage our students and do it the same way for each other. That's going to make these sessions really, really powerful. A few things to do before your session begins is, one, double check your session. Make sure that everything is correct on the schedule board, that you gather your resources. I'm going to show you a resource folder that you may use. You don't have to use, but you may use it if you like. And it's a place where it's going to be shareable. So be careful, though, because this means anybody can edit it. Anybody can put notes into these. So don't put something in that you don't want deleted, or it's the only place you have it. But what we want to do with the resource folder is have a place where everybody can come in, take notes for you when your session is going on. If something comes up, they can type it in real quick, and then it's actually a shared document that goes out to everybody. So if somebody was like, oh, I'm really sad I missed your session, I wasn't able to make it, I went to this other one, you can say, don't worry, I have this resource folder. This came up because we had a lot of people asking, how can we get the resources that the presenter shared? And because we do not know what your resources are, and we're not gathering stacks of papers to hand out to people, it's really important that you utilize those. So think about who your sessions are recommended for, and make sure that those are correct on the schedule, and then what the outcome will be. Another important thing to consider is that there are going to be quite a few different grade levels in your sessions. This is our first true EC12 camp. What happens when we have our true EC12 camp is that we are going to have people in different grade levels in the same session. So if you're used to only talking to people in middle school, but you have people who are in elementary school in your session, try to think about some examples that are going to be relevant to them as well. So have a couple different examples for multiple grade levels that's going to be able to help people really engage with what you're saying. What we want to do here is really try to see how much, as I'm saying, blur the lines between, we have elementaries here, middle schools here, high schools here, and really see this as a continuum of their education, and that anything we do in any grade level is going to have some crossover to other people. Some quick things, and you can write these down later, but just some quick question, discussion, and conversation starters. If you're a little bit stuck on what to say, what is a kid's reaction to this? How do you think this will impact your class? What is the connection to students? So just always bringing it back to things that are really important to what your audience is there to hear about. And looking at the session board, again, make sure that your session and your times are correct. The session board looks like this, if you haven't seen, that we have broken it down into core focuses and locations. So as much as possible, and there's very little actually that break this pattern, if there's sessions that have to do with assessment, they're all in the same area. If there's sessions that have to do with classroom management and relationships, those are all in the same area at Mountain View. The reason we did this one is so that people who have like interests will be in the same area having conversations about similar things, but then participants can come out into the common area and continue those conversations about things that they had just learned. So rather than having to jump around, and if you really feel like you want to focus on personalization that day, you'll be, for example, it says the Thunder Mountain area, it's the second floor, the E rooms on the second floor, so the E200s, then you will be in there and you can come out and talk to other people that have done other projects in personalization and really gather some more information about what you're doing. In the cafeteria, session 1 is going to be ESS teachers only, and session 3 is for CAS workspace. That is for people working on CAS who want to come in and really dig in and work with their peers and collaborate and get some of the CAS work done. And we will have Michelle Logan in that room floating around asking questions. So it can be a really good time for people to come in. If you do not have your mic muted, just make sure it is. I think I see some people talking, but my speaker's off, so I won't hear you. As far as what to do during your session, I said that we have the resource folder. It will be creating a note catcher for your sessions. You can use the pre-populated resource folder that we have and have somebody actually digitally take notes in the folder for you, or we will have a paper copy available for some people. If you want to have somebody take notes on a piece of paper, hand it back to us at the end of your session and we'll upload it for you. Because the folders will be live and available to everybody, just remember that anybody can access them and add information at any time, which is going to make it really cool for collaboration. And for people who have big aha moments in your session, they'll be able to access this folder and then add their notes right away. So the folder is called the EdCamp Sessions folder. There's a short link. It's called September EdCamp Notes with the tiny URL. It's on the schedule. Once you go into it, you'll notice that each of the core areas has its own folder. And as you go into that, each of these sessions has a not quite pre-populated, but a template to put your notes in. So the session name, the presenter's name, participants is whether or not you want to actually put participants in there. I think that one is optional because there will be a sign-up sheet, which I will go over in just a second. Big ideas, resources, and links, and then if people want to continue the discussion later after your session, this is certainly a good place to do it and just continue having a conversation in that last box where they can work on more of what they were talking about or just ask more questions to you. So at check-in, presenters, please come in to Mountain View. We will start the check-in at 11:30. Number one is the big thing, and please continue to use the rule of carpool, carpool, carpool. We are having roughly 1,100 people come on to the Mountain View campus at the same time, and they do not have 1,100 parking spots. However, they have 845 spots, and the church right next to Mountain View has given us permission to use their parking lot as well. So pass that information along that you are more than welcome to go into the parking lot next door and use that. We will start our sign up at 11:30. When you come in, there will not be, if you were at the secondary EdCamp last month or like 3 weeks ago, there will not be a large number of tables with attendance sheets where everybody signs in at the same time. What we're going to do is have a presenters sign-in table. You will pick up a lanyard with your name on it that says presenter. You will also get your attendance sheets. If you are presenting the first session, you will be having people do attendance in that session. Also, there will be the note catcher sheets at the table, but again, you can have them take the notes in the resource folder. So make sure to go through the resource folder so you know how to tell people how to take notes in that. And again, check your room. If we have confirmation that the rooms will have projectors, however, if there's not a projector, you may email me and I will be constantly checking my email that day and I will get to your room and help you as much as I can. During your session, remember that attendance is only taken for the first sheet, for the first session only. We will come around from the professional learning team, and we will get those attendance sheets during the first session. We will also have a morning announcement to say hello to everybody. So just be prepared if you're presenting session 1. There will be a brief interruption early in your session so we can just announce anything that we need to everybody. So make sure, again, capture the thinking. A lot of people do want to know what's going on in sessions that they can't go to, so really having the note catcher is going to be very important. And continue the discussion thread through your Google pages. And apparently there's this discussion thread again. So we already went over this one, but there, it's right there, discussion thread. All right, so things to remember. We are wanting to, as much as we possible, continue to move ourselves towards a really powerful ed camp. That means moving less away from having a presenter at the front of the room presenting to more of a facilitated discussion. So really, as much as possible, think how you can work that in, because every single topic here is going to lend itself to people talking, discussing, asking questions, really looking at how they can start integrating what they're learning into their own classrooms and make it their own. So number 2, if conversations appears to be lagging or people appear to be nervous about sharing, just consider perhaps a simple talk, a turn and talk, where people talk to somebody and ask a question or make a point with just a few people near them. Remember that people also might wander in and out of your session. This is totally fine. We expect this. This is part of EdCamp. What this means is that they are wanting to go to other sessions and check in on other sessions. So if you have people at the beginning, if you feel it's very, very important they stayed to the end, please make that announcement. However, just know that it is totally fine for participants to come in and out of sessions and get as much knowledge as they can. And like I said earlier, have multi-level examples ready, since you may most likely have multiple grade levels in your classroom. So after the session, just simply thank everybody. Remember to have them check the Google pages and access the resources to continue the conversations. Be sure that somebody picks up your attendance sheet. This is very important. And then, get ready, because chances are somebody else is coming into your room. There's only 15 minutes between sessions, and it is the 3 sessions, with the 3rd session being mostly open collaboration and discussion. If you can stay, if that's possible, if your room is not designated for somebody else, or you can find a common area and continue the discussion about what you presented about, that could be really, really useful and very, very valuable to people. So make sure that you bring all your resources that you need for your discussion and your session, and that you use the pre-populated note catcher with the resources for your session. However, like I said, that is not mandatory, but just consider a way for you to share your resources, and feel free to reach out to learning services. So attendance sheets, just to be clear, we will come around and collect those during first session as much as possible, we being the professional learning team. If we do not do that, please find somebody on the learning team. We will have somebody near the front office, and you can find us. Or just email me again and say, hey, I still have my attendance sheet, and we will be sure to get it. We really want to get those done first session. So if you are doing a second session or a 3rd session, you do not need to do attendance, because presumably everybody would have signed up during the first one. And we just want to get a good number of how many people showed up. There will be a post session survey sent out, not on Tuesday, but you will get that we would really appreciate your feedback in getting that back. Also, people who attended sessions, again, surveys on what you attended, what you enjoyed. I'm not sure I understand. Suri doesn't understand that. And I will open it up and see if there's any questions in the chat box. But as far as you showing up and being able to get yourself in the raffle, this is it. It's tinyurl.com/presenter_TSD. This is where you can enter your name and the secret password, which I will tell you right now, Snowball. When you go to the survey, put your name in, and where it says the secret word is Snowball, that lets me know that you watched this all the way to the end, and 2 people will be presented with Starbucks gift cards on Tuesday at Checkin. So let me take it off of the share and see if we have any questions. Right now I don't see any. If not, then we can definitely jump off this call. That is it. I promised you I'd keep it under 30 minutes. I think that was pretty good, 16 minutes. So just let me know if you have any questions. I'll wait for a bit. And if not, you can certainly reach out to me or anybody on the PLT team, and we will get back to you and answer your questions. If not, you can just say goodbye and log yourself off. But other than that, you're welcome, Jody. Thank you for showing up, and we will see you very soon. I'm really excited for this EdCamp. I look forward to all the things that we can do with this and continue making it great. And kudos to you 9 people who showed up live. That's kind of awesome. All right, no questions? Then we will say goodbye and take care, everyone. Have a great day.